The press conference room at the MGM Grand was packed wall to wall. Cameras flashed nonstop, reporters jostled for position, and the crowd buzzed with excitement. At the center of it all sat Rex Dalton, the undefeated UFC powerhouse, the man known for finishing fights in the first round, and the fighter whose mouth was even faster than his punches. Rex leaned back in his chair, wearing sunglasses indoors, chewing gum loudly, acting like he owned the entire arena. Every time a reporter asked him a question, he smirked before answering, as if the whole world existed only to watch him shine. A reporter raised her hand. "Rex, a lot of fans online compare you to legendary martial artists from the past. Any names you respect from the older era?" Rex laughed so hard he nearly dropped the mic. "Respect? Come on. Those old school guys were movie stars, not fighters." Another reporter chimed in. "What about Steven Seagal?" The room quieted. Even reporters who disliked martial arts knew Seagal was considered a master by many. Rex didn't hesitate. He rolled his shoulders, grinned arrogantly, and said, "Steven Seagal? Please. I'd knock that grandpa out in 10 seconds. Gasps filled the room. Some laughed nervously. Others stared in disbelief. Rex kept going. "He walks around like he's untouchable. But this is the modern era. Real fighters are here now. If he stepped into the cage with me, he'd need a stretcher." The journalists exchanged uncomfortable glances. They weren't expecting this level of disrespect. One reporter tried to steer the conversation back. "But Rex, Seagal is considered a master by many." "Master of what?" Rex interrupted, chuckling. "Slow-motion wrist grabs? We're talking about real fighting. The guy's ancient." The room fell silent. Cameras zoomed in. This was the kind of quote that would explode online, and Rex knew it. He leaned forward, tapped the mic, and smirked. "Tell him I said it. I'll knock him out. Anytime. Anywhere." By the time Rex stood up and walked off stage, the internet had already erupted. Clips spread across social media. Fans were furious. Others found it hilarious. Memes started circulating within minutes. But the only question everyone asked was, how would Steven Seagal respond? What he did next shocked the entire martial arts world. The moment Rex Dalton stormed off the press conference stage, the internet detonated like a bomb. Within minutes, the clip of him saying, "I'll knock that grandpa out in 10 seconds" spread across TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and every MMA forum on the planet. At first, Rex loved it. He sat in the back of his limo scrolling through the reactions, laughing at the memes. Some of them showed him punching shadows labeled old martial artists. Others mocked Seagal with exaggerated Aikido wrist flips. Rex ate it up. This was exactly the kind of attention he craved. But the problem was, the world didn't react the way he expected. The comments under the viral video weren't cheering him on. They were furious. "Bro, Seagal could fold you with a single movement. Respect elders, man. This is embarrassing. Rex talks tough, but Seagal trained with legends before Rex was even born. This generation has no manners." Fans of martial arts, Seagal supporters, traditionalists, and even casual viewers all united under one idea. Rex went too far. Within hours, hashtags trended worldwide. Hashtag respect the masters. Hashtag Seagal versus Rex. Hashtag Grandpa would fold you. Even major MMA analysts chimed in. One tweeted, "Mocking a legend doesn't make you a champion. Fighting does." Rex scoffed as he saw it. He cracked his knuckles, shook his head, and muttered to his manager sitting beside him. "These people are soft. I'll keep calling him out until he grows a backbone." His manager rubbed his forehead. "Rex, you might want to slow down. Seagal is respected by millions around the world. This isn't the kind of PR we want." Rex pointed at him. "PR? I'm doing your job for you. Look how viral I am. This is gold." The manager sighed, already stressed. Meanwhile, across the world, Steven Seagal's name flooded every news feed. Reporters tried reaching him. Journalists emailed his representatives. Fans begged him on social media to respond. Martial artists recorded reaction videos, some angry, some shocked, some amused. A well-known Aikido instructor went viral for saying, "Steven Seagal doesn't need to talk. His technique speaks louder than Rex's entire career." But through all the noise, Seagal said nothing. Zero response. No interview. No tweet. No comment. The silence made everything even louder. The longer Seagal remained silent, the angrier Rex became. And the angrier Rex became, the more reckless he got. The very next morning, Rex recorded a video on his phone and posted it on every platform. Wearing sunglasses and standing in front of his gym, he spoke confidently. "Since the old man won't respond, let me make it easier for him. Steven Seagal, I'm calling you out publicly. Exhibition match. No judges. No excuses. I'll show everyone you're a movie fighter, not a real one." He grinned arrogantly and added, "Don't worry, Grandpa. I'll go easy on you." The video blew up instantly, and this time, the backlash was even worse. People weren't just criticizing him anymore. They were angry. Comments poured in by the thousands. "This guy has no respect. He's begging for a reality check. Someone humble him, please." Even professional fighters commented. One wrote, "You don't disrespect martial arts legends. Period." Another said, "Rex is about to learn a painful lesson." But Rex ignored all of it. That evening, a huge crowd of reporters waited outside his gym. Microphones were shoved in his face as he walked out with swagger in every step. "Rex, do you regret your comments? Do you think Steven Seagal might respond soon? Are you prepared if he actually accepts your challenge?" Rex raised his hand for silence, then delivered a smirk that reporters would remember forever. "If he shows up, I'll retire him permanently. If he doesn't, then the world knows he's scared. Either way, I win." The reporters weren't impressed. Many shook their heads. Some exchanged looks of disbelief. Even MMA fans watching the live stream were commenting things like, "Rex is digging his own grave. He wants attention more than victory." And still, Seagal said nothing. The silence became the story. Journalists wrote headlines like, "The callout heard around the world. But why is Seagal quiet? Is Steven Seagal planning a response? Rex Dalton crosses the line again." Every hour, the pressure mounted. Every minute, tension grew. Until finally, late in the night, something happened. Steven Seagal posted a single, short message on his official social media page. No anger. No trash talk. Just a calm, centered video of him sitting in a dojo, surrounded by students. He bowed slightly toward the camera and said in a low, peaceful voice, "Real martial arts is not about ego, it is about respect." That was all. Just 10 seconds of calm. But those 10 seconds shook the entire martial arts world. Rex saw the video, and instead of backing down, it only made him more furious. The world was now waiting for the next move. And what Rex did next would escalate the situation into something no one expected. The dojo was silent except for the soft rustle of uniforms and the faint hum of a nearby heater. Steven Seagal sat on his knees in perfect posture, surrounded by students who treated every movement of his hands like scripture. When he bowed to the camera and delivered those calm, measured words, "Real martial arts is not about ego, it is about respect," the world felt it. Fans around the globe replayed the clip endlessly, admiring the composure of a man who had nothing to prove. Celebrities shared it. Old-school martial artists praised it. Even some MMA champions posted subtle messages urging Rex Dalton to take notes. It was the kind of moment that brought the world together. Except for one person, Rex Dalton. The video reached Rex while he was sparring in his private facility, trading aggressive rounds with his teammates. His manager rushed in, waving his phone frantically. "Rex," he responded. Rex lowered his gloves, sweaty and breathing heavily. "About time. Let's see what Old Man River had to say." The moment he watched the video, Rex's jaw tightened. There was no anger in Seagal's face. No defensiveness. Just calm wisdom. And for the first time, Rex didn't know how to respond. Because Seagal hadn't belittled him. He had silenced him, with respect. Rex hated it. He threw his gloves across the room. "That's it. That's all he said. He's mocking me. His manager stepped forward cautiously. Rex, he didn't insult you. He didn't even mention your name. That's the problem. Rex snapped. He thinks he's above me. He thinks he's some kind of martial arts god who doesn't need to answer me directly. His teammates stepped back, sensing a storm incoming. Rex paced back and forth, muscles still twitching, adrenaline surging. No, 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 he muttered. He doesn't get to act like he's the wise old master, and I'm some child throwing tantrums. He wants to play the common holy card? Fine. I'll drag him out of the shadows. His manager's voice trembled slightly. Rex, this is already bigger than you expected. Maybe it's time to stop. Rex glared at him. Stop? Now, when the whole world is watching. You think I'm going to back down and look scared? His manager tried one last time. This could turn against you. It already has. Rex barked. And that's why I'm doubling down. He grabbed his phone, turned on the camera, and hit record. Standing shirtless in the gym, chest pumping with ego and fury, Rex began. So Steven Seagal finally responds. And guess what? He hides behind some philosophical quote like a monk. Respect this, respect that. Respect doesn't win fights. He moved closer to the camera, eyes burning. You think you're better than me because you're calm? Because you sit in a dojo and talk about honor? Step into the cage, and we'll see how much your respect helps you. He pointed a finger directly at the lens. I'm done with games. Exhibition match. Live audience. Cameras rolling. Let's see if your fancy wrist locks work on someone who actually punches back. He ended the video with a smirk. Don't stay silent this time, Grandpa. The video went viral immediately, but not the way Rex hoped. This time, the backlash was brutal. People weren't just annoyed. They were fed up. Comments were harsher. Rex is obsessed. Someone get this man a reality check. He's disrespecting a whole martial arts tradition. Even major MMA legends chimed in. If Rex wants a fight, he should challenge someone in his weight class, not a senior citizen. Another wrote, this isn't confidence. It's insecurity with muscles. Rex saw all of it, and every comment pushed him further over the edge. Later that evening, Rex's team held an emergency meeting in the gym office. His coach slammed a water bottle down, frustrated. Rex, you're losing fans. You're losing respect. And for what? A video clip? Rex folded his arms. I don't need respect from people who worship movie stars. His coach shook his head. You're not fighting Seagal. You're fighting a ghost, an idea, and you're losing. Rex didn't want to hear it. He stormed out of the office, heading straight to the main gym floor where several media outlets were waiting for him. Word had already spread that Rex was planning to escalate things. Cameras clicked instantly as he approached. A reporter raised her mic. Rex, Steven Seagal's video was peaceful. Why are you pushing this so aggressively? Rex smirked. Because peace doesn't win fights. Action does. Another reporter chimed in. Do you think Seagal will accept your challenge? If he's half the martial artist people claim he is, he will, Rex replied confidently. If not, well, then everyone will know he's scared. The reporters exchanged uneasy glances. Then someone asked the question that changed the tone drastically. Rex, what if he does show up? For the first time, Rex paused. His jaw tightened. His eyes narrowed. Finally, he forced a smile. Then I'll knock him out in front of the whole world. But behind that smile, there was something else. A flicker of doubt. A whisper of fear. A moment of realization that maybe, just maybe, Steven Seagal wasn't the type of man to back down when challenged. And while Rex was busy chasing attention, Seagal was preparing something far more serious than a viral video. Something the world wasn't expecting. Something that would flip this entire rivalry on its head. Something Rex would never forget. Night had fallen over Los Angeles, a quiet darkness blanketing the city. But inside a private dojo tucked behind a row of bamboo trees, a storm was gathering. Students trained in silence, their movements sharp and precise, as if something important was about to happen. Steven Seagal entered the room slowly, wearing a deep black GI, his face calm as ever. But his eyes, they carried a different energy tonight. Controlled fire, measured resolve, a kind of gravity that made even the air stand still. Seagal motioned for the cameras to be set up. Only two, both belonging to his personal documentary team. No flashy lighting, no drama. Just him, standing in the center of his dojo. He folded his hands in front of him, bowed his head slightly, and then raised his eyes to the lens. Everyone watching held their breath. And then he spoke. Calm, respectful, but unshakably firm. Rex Dalton. He said the name for the first time. Those two words alone felt like an earthquake. The video hadn't even been published yet, and the crew felt the tension shift. For weeks, Seagal had refused to address Rex directly. But now, something inside him had changed. A line had been crossed. You have challenged me. You have mocked me. And you have spoken with anger, not wisdom. I do not respond to ego, but I do respond to disrespect. His voice grew deeper, sharper. If you wish to face me, then I will give you an answer. The cameramen exchanged stunned looks. This was no philosophical lecture. This was a declaration. Seagal paused, letting the silence thicken. I will not fight you for spectacle. I will not fight to entertain the world. But I will meet you, man to man, in a closed, private demonstration. A demonstration, not a cage fight, not a show, something personal, something dangerous. If your intention is to learn, you may come. If your intention is to dominate, you will not enjoy the result. For the first time, a hint of steel slipped into Seagal's voice. He stepped closer to the camera, his presence almost overwhelming. You believe age makes a man weak. You believe calm is a sign of fear. You are mistaken. He raised his hand, demonstrating a small, precise movement, a subtle wrist rotation that seemed simple but carried lethal potential. Martial arts is not about power. It is about control, timing, sensitivity. A single mistake, and even the strongest man falls. The crew swallowed hard. This wasn't bragging. This was truth spoken by someone who'd lived it for decades. Seagal finished with a final message. If you still wish to challenge me, I will open my dojo to you. No cameras, no crowds, only reality. He bowed slowly. The recording ended. The dojo stayed silent for several seconds, as though everyone was processing what they had just witnessed. Then Seagal turned to his assistant. Release it. Across the city, Rex Dalton was in the middle of a live media appearance. A flashy interview packed with bright lights, loud intro music, and an excited audience. He laughed, cracked jokes, flexed for the cameras, and bragged about being the most feared man in the UFC. But halfway through the show, his manager raced onto the stage, white as a ghost, waving his phone. Rex, you need to see this. Rex frowned. I'm in the middle of something. His manager shoved the phone into his hands anyway. Seagal finally responded. Those words hit harder than any punch. Rex snatched the phone and began watching. The entire studio turned quiet as his eyes scanned the screen. His cocky smile faded. His jaw slowly dropped. His muscles tensed like cables under pressure. Seagal wasn't angry. Seagal wasn't ranting. Seagal wasn't emotional. He was certain, unmoving, confident in a way Rex couldn't fake. As the video continued, Rex's breathing grew heavier. He clenched the phone so hard his knuckles went white. By the time Seagal said, if your intention is to dominate, you will not enjoy the result, the audience could see Rex's facade cracking. When the clip ended, the studio was completely silent. The host cleared his throat nervously. Rex, does this change anything? Rex forced a laugh, but it sounded hollow. Look, man, he wants a private meeting? A demonstration? Sounds like he's scared to do it publicly. The host wasn't convinced. Neither was the audience. Neither was Rex. He got off the stage as fast as he could. Backstage, Rex confronted his manager. What do I do now? His manager hesitated. Rex, this isn't like before. He's not playing games. This is a real invitation. Rex ran a hand through his hair. A private demonstration with Steven Seagal? No cameras? No crowd? No chance to spin the narrative? Only reality. Only the truth. And a small voice inside him whispered something he didn't want to admit. For the first time in this whole saga, Rex Dalton felt fear. For the next 2 days, Rex Dalton barely slept. His mansion, usually loud with parties, music, and friends, had become silent. He sat alone in his home gym at 3 a.m., punching the heavy bag, trying to sweat out the nervousness twisting inside him like a knot. Every punch echoed through the empty room. Thud, thud, thud. But no matter how hard he hit, he couldn't shake the image of Steven Seagal, calm, unbothered, and utterly certain, from his mind. His coach entered the gym, rubbing his eyes. "Rex, you've been in here all night." Rex wiped his forehead. "I'm fine." "No, you're not," his coach replied. "You're scared." Rex froze. He'd heard trash talk from opponents. He'd heard boos from crowds. He'd heard insults from reporters. But no one had ever dared to say that word to his face. Rex turned slowly. "What did you say?" His coach sighed. "You're not scared of Seagal. You're scared of the unknown. You've fought monsters in the cage, but you've never faced a master in his own world." Rex swallowed hard. His coach stepped closer. "Listen, you opened this door. You called him out. Now you've got 2 choices. Answer like a man, or walk away and live with this hanging over you forever." Those words landed like a hammer. Rex sat down on the bench, breathing heavily. "Coach, what if he embarrasses me? Behind closed doors? What if he does something I can't defend?" His coach didn't sugarcoat it. "He might." Rex looked down at his gloves. "But," his coach continued, "you'll never respect yourself if you run." The room fell silent. Then finally, after hours of tension, Rex made his decision. He stood up. "Call his team. Tell them I'm coming." The next afternoon, Rex arrived at Steven Seagal's private dojo, the one from the video. It wasn't flashy. It wasn't huge. It wasn't decorated like a movie set. It was simple, quiet, almost sacred. A narrow path of stepping stones led to a sliding wooden door. Cherry blossoms drifted down from a nearby tree. The place felt ancient, older than Rex, older than UFC, older than anything he had trained for. Rex's heart pounded louder with every step. His manager walked beside him, whispering, "Are you sure about this?" Rex didn't answer. He couldn't. When he reached the entrance, a senior student in a white GI bowed respectfully. "Sensei is expecting you." Rex stepped inside. The air changed instantly, cooler, sharper, charged with something he couldn't describe. In the center of the room, Steven Seagal stood facing away, hands clasped behind him. He wasn't dressed for a show. No cameras. No crew. No lights. Just him. He turned slowly. His presence alone made Rex stop. "Welcome," Seagal said, voice calm as still water. "I appreciate that you came." Rex forced a cocky smile, trying to resurrect his usual persona. "Let's just get this over with." Seagal didn't respond. Instead, he gestured toward the tatami mats. "We will begin with awareness. No striking, no grappling, only energy and timing." Rex rolled his shoulders. "Whatever you say, old man." Seagal stepped closer, stopping only a foot away. Up close, something felt different. Rex couldn't explain it, but the older man's presence was heavier than he expected. Grounded, unshakable. "Attack whenever you're ready," Seagal said softly. Rex blinked. He wasn't expecting that. "No rules?" Rex asked. "Only reality." Rex inhaled, then exploded forward with a lightning-fast jab, the same jab that had dropped 3 UFC contenders. But he didn't even see what happened. In a blur, Seagal's wrist rotated, his body angled slightly, and Rex suddenly felt his own momentum vanish as if he had struck a wall made of water. His arm was redirected effortlessly. His balance disappeared. His feet lifted off the ground. Thud! Rex hit the mat before he understood how. He scrambled up, face red with shock. "What?" "Again," Seagal said simply. Rex charged again, faster, angrier. Another blur. Another twist. Another effortless redirection. Rex hit the floor even harder. His pride cracked. His ego splintered. His breath trembled. Seagal stepped back, hands still calm, breathing steady. Your strength is real, he said. But strength without awareness is noise. You attacked with anger. Anger makes you blind. Rex got up slowly, staring at the mats. For the first time in years, he felt like a beginner. Do you wish to continue? Seagal asked. Rex opened his mouth, then closed it. He nodded. Seagal bowed. And that bow, that simple gesture, humbled Rex more than both takedowns combined. Then Seagal spoke words that Rex would never forget. A true fighter conquers himself before he tries to conquer others. Rex swallowed hard. Something inside him shifted. For the first time, he wasn't performing. He wasn't bragging. He wasn't showing off. He was learning. He bowed back, and Seagal's eyes softened, just a little, as if showing approval. No cameras. No crowds. No audience. Just two martial artists in the silence of a dojo where ego had no place. And the world had no idea what had just happened. Rex Dalton sat in the back seat of the SUV, staring out the window as the city lights rushed by. His body still ached from the demonstration, but it wasn't the pain that bothered him. It was the truth. He had gone into Steven Seagal's dojo expecting an easy win, a moment to humble an old legend. Instead, he found himself humbled, not by force, but by mastery, by precision, by a level of martial arts he didn't even know existed. His manager kept glancing at him. You okay? Rex didn't answer. He wasn't sure he was okay. He had walked into that dojo a champion, and walked out feeling like a student. Back at the dojo, Seagal sat quietly with his assistant. The air felt peaceful again, the energy settled. Seagal removed his black belt, folded it neatly, and placed it on the mat. His assistant spoke softly. Sensei, should we announce what happened? The media is going wild. Seagal shook his head. No, this was not a fight. It was a lesson, and lessons are private. But Sensei, Rex's fans are attacking you online. They say you backed down from a real fight. Seagal closed his eyes. I do not answer to children. His assistant bowed. Within 24 hours, whispers started spreading online. Something had happened at the dojo, but no one knew what. Fans argued. Media speculated. Content creators debated endlessly. Did Rex beat Seagal? Did Seagal embarrass Rex? Was it staged? Was it real? Nobody had answers. Then everything changed. A security camera inside the dojo, one Seagal didn't know was running, leaked a clip. Only 19 seconds. But 19 seconds was all it took. It began with Rex lunging forward, fast as lightning. Then, almost comically simple, Seagal turned his wrist, changed angles, and redirected Rex's entire body with the gentlest motion imaginable. Rex flew across the mat like he had been yanked by invisible ropes. The crowd watching the leak couldn't believe it. Rewind that. What did he do? How did Rex fall like that? That wasn't fake. His body snapped sideways. Martial artists broke down the footage frame by frame. UFC fans argued furiously. Traditional martial arts pages exploded with excitement. The clip hit 10 million views in 2 hours. Rex was in his hotel room when his phone started vibrating nonstop. At first, he ignored it. But after the 15th call, he finally picked up. Bro, the clip is everywhere, his friend shouted. You got floored. The internet is roasting you. Rex's blood ran cold. He opened social media. There it was. The fall. The twist. The effortless redirection. Millions of comments. Some mocking. Grandpa folded this dude like laundry. Rex got unplugged like a faulty robot. Some impressed. That wasn't strength, that was mastery. Respect to Seagal. Some shocked. Never seen Rex lose balance like that. There's levels to martial arts we don't understand. Rex threw his phone onto the couch and buried his face in his hands. He had walked into that room with ego. Now the world was seeing the price he paid. His manager poked his head into the room. You need to say something. The world wants your response. Rex looked up slowly. For the first time, he didn't feel angry. He didn't feel embarrassed. He didn't feel defeated. He felt relieved. Relieved that the truth was out. Relieved he didn't have to pretend anymore. Set up a press conference, he said quietly. For what? His manager asked. Rex took a deep breath. To tell the world what really happened. Reporters packed the room. Cameras flashed brighter than ever. But Rex didn't wear sunglasses. He didn't lean back cockily. He didn't grin. He walked up to the podium slowly, humbly. The room fell silent. He spoke into the mic. I'm not here to make excuses. Steven Seagal didn't embarrass me. He taught me. Whispers shot through the room. Rex continued. I underestimated him. I insulted him. I called him out when I should have shown respect. He paused. That demonstration wasn't fake. He redirected me because his skill is real. What you saw in that video was mastery, the kind of mastery I've never encountered before. The journalists listened, stunned. Rex swallowed hard. I walked into his dojo thinking I was the best fighter in the world. I walked out realizing I still have a lot to learn. Another pause. And for the record, I'm not ashamed. I'm grateful. The room exploded with questions, but Rex raised his hand. One more thing. He looked straight into the camera. Steven Seagal, thank you. You didn't just show me martial arts. You showed me myself. Fans reacted instantly. Some cheered Rex's humility. Some praised Seagal's mastery. Some celebrated the return of old-school martial respect. The clip kept spreading, now with Rex's confession next to it. And overnight, the story went from a mocking meme to one of the most inspiring martial arts moments of the decade. Rex Dalton sat alone on his balcony that night, the cool breeze brushing past him as the city hummed below. His press conference had gone viral, but not for the reasons he expected. People weren't mocking him anymore. They were respecting him. Articles titled, Rex Dalton Shows True Humility, The Day Ego Lost and Honor Won, and Steven Seagal's Silent Lesson dominated every platform. Even critics who usually tore fighters apart admitted. This is the first time a UFC champion has openly bowed to a traditional master. Rex scrolled through the reactions. For the first time in weeks, he felt the weight lifting off his shoulders. His arrogance, his pride, his ego, all of it had been broken in that dojo. But in its place, something new had grown. Respect, discipline, perspective. Steven Seagal sat with an incense burner glowing softly beside him. He wasn't checking his phone. He wasn't watching the news. He wasn't celebrating. He was simply meditating. His assistant entered quietly. Sensei, the world is applauding you. Your student clips are trending again. Famous fighters are praising your technique. Everyone wants to hear your reaction. Seagal opened one eye. My reaction? His assistant nodded eagerly. Seagal smiled faintly. I have no reaction. Respect doesn't need noise. He stood up slowly, his movements fluid, almost weightless. Did Rex speak truthfully? He asked. Yes, Sensei. He honored you. Publicly. Seagal nodded once, satisfied. Then that is enough. He walked toward the center of the dojo, placing his hand gently on his folded black belt. People think martial arts is about winning and losing. They do not understand. It is about awakening. His assistant bowed. Will you respond to Rex publicly? Seagal shook his head. No. My answer is already given. Back in his apartment, Rex's phone vibrated. Unknown number. He hesitated, then answered. Rex Dalton speaking. A deep, calm voice replied. Rex, this is Steven Seagal. Rex nearly stood up out of reflex. Sensei, I mean Mr. Seagal, sir, Seagal chuckled softly. You don't need titles. You showed humility today. That is a rare thing. Rex swallowed hard. Thank you. I meant every word. I know, Seagal said. I called for one reason. To tell you something important. Rex braced himself. You have great strength, Seagal continued. But if you rely only on strength, you will break. Continue training. Learn the art, not just the sport. Balance muscle with awareness. When you stop fighting to prove yourself, you become dangerous in a very different way. Rex felt his chest tighten. Do you think I can learn what you showed me? Seagal paused. If you are patient. If you stay humble, and if you stop trying to impress the world. Rex exhaled shakily. I'm ready. We will see, Seagal replied. For now, rest your mind. Then the call ended. Rex stood there for a long time, phone still pressed to his ear. Something inside him shifted again, deeper this time. Not fear, not ego, not confusion. Purpose. A new video appeared online. Not a leak, not drama, not controversy, just a simple clip. Rex Dalton, no sunglasses, no chains, no bravado, standing in front of the camera wearing a plain training GI. He bowed. I'm beginning again, he said. No trash talk, no ego, no show, just martial arts. He paused, then smiled honestly for the first time. And Steven Seagal, thank you for opening that door. The video went massively viral, not because it was flashy, but because it felt real. Comments poured in from around the world. Respect. This is the fighter we want to see. Humility looks good on him. A legend teaching a champion. This is history. The energy had shifted. The story wasn't about humiliation anymore. It was about transformation. Steven Seagal walked across his dojo, sensing the shift in energy around the world. His assistant approached. Sensei, the students are asking if you'll take on a new trainee. Seagal raised an eyebrow. Who? The assistant smiled. A UFC champion named Rex Dalton. Seagal chuckled under his breath. Then tell him, the dojo is open.